as the title says, today we'll be chatting about Sea of Thieves' main problems. Most of them that I've experienced anyway. So, some you might have a few add. If you do, and are too late to catch the stream, post them down in the comments and we can chat about them down there. But for as the stream goes right now, we will be chatting about PVE servers, and then just general PvP stuff, as that's mostly what I have a problem with. And it's more community based than the actual player based or game based, as it's not much I can do about the problems that I seem to experience run into regularly, which seem to just get downplayed by the community like it should be a thing daily. And if you ask me, it seriously shouldn't, as it very clearly promotes a very bad part of the community itself. And I will be referring to this as toxicity. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's people being assholes to each other. Tends to be towards people who are less able to fight. And this ends up usually messing up the person's want to play the game anymore. As I've experienced the same exact thing with me and the crew that I tend to run with. Well, the other person that I tend to run with. But yeah. So let's get into it, shall we? So I'm in the game here, and clearly due to my tire, I have not just started. I don't have like a singular hour on this or some shit. I clearly have several hours. As it stands right now, I have over 240 hours. 247 pieces of it.
Hey, come over here.
Oh,
I have a favor to ask.
And I can do this. So this is a big grind. My goal score is nearly 40 levels up and all that, but that's not the point. Any PvE stuff is pretty decently set up, I think. Pretty well set up, anyway. What the fuck? Okay, I guess. I don't have anything against PvPers myself. When it becomes a problem is when somebody can't fight back. I get it in like any PvP kind of game, it's very competitive, you take any opportunity you get to ensure that you come out alive and whatever, right? Sure, I don't care. Because to be honest, that just doesn't help either. But the main problem is that since I tend to run on a slope, as I only have one other person to play with, and open crews are highly inconsistent, from missing a person to missing everyone, but even the person you pull into it, or just you, it can become very inconsistent to get a pretty good crew together. Which is normal, that's matchmaking in a fucking nutshell. I play D2, I know what that is. But that's not the point. The point is that just earlier today, me and person that I play this game with usually, decided to
Hey,
become
come over here. I have
a
a
semi-free
favor to
friendly
ask.
reaper. Like, if you don't want to fight, then we don't want to fight. Keep your loot, because it's just not a point. Like, we'd rather alliance than not, as it's just not that beneficial to not, to be honest. Even if you get half the cut, who cares? You get something, don't you? Ain't that better than wasting resources and possibly just throwing that down the drain? I would rather spend fuck all and gain. It's honestly a no-brainer. But fighting to gain loot to gain money and all that shit, sure, fine, whatever. But be thoughtful with what you're charging at. If you're just charging at any ship that you see, even if they don't have a flag off the back here, or maybe don't have anything up here, or maybe they only have the Alliance flag up, or something like that. You're chasing somebody who probably don't have jack shit. Doesn't matter what their like ship cosmetics are, because who knows what they're doing. For all you know, they're doing tall tales and don't have jack diddly squat. And that will be very, very fucking pointless for you to kill them or sink them. Because first of all, you're just giving them a headache of having to restart from whatever the fuck checkpoint they were just at. Probably having to redo quite a bit of progress.
Hey, come over here.
Which,
I have a favor to
fine. That's not that bad, right? The thing is, all the resources that they had to try to do said tall tale, gone. And if they had anything, they might have had a couple treasure chests, if that. And was 600 gold worth that? Worth all the cannonballs you shot? That goes for
Who's there?
on a captaincy ship. A crate of cannonball supply is over 3,000. Was it
See you
worth spending cannonballs on that ship? Not to mention wood from them fighting back, food from them shooting you, doing damage to you themselves. Was it worth it? Or was it pointless? Because if you ask me, I'm pretty fucking sure it was pointless. So then, if I may ask, why should you kill tall tailors? Easy kill? Why should that matter? Ain't this fucking game about making money? Ain't that what this entire game's about? Making money, earning rep to level up with your emissary, whatever. Isn't that what this game's about? Then why on this flat fucking earth do we kill tall tailors? I simply doesn't give a fuck. If they're doing a tall tale and they have any loot I can take to sell, well, either just ask them or leave them be. 'Cause, I mean, it's not much to begin with. I could probably part with it. As long as they are like left alone. I just would. I couldn't give less shits about somebody taking the loot if I'm doing a tall tale. Because all I'm after in a tall tale are commendations. Shit you can't take from me. So why? Why bother? Like, what's the point? where's the fun in sinking somebody who doesn't have anything for you to take? I personally don't see the point. But I have a clip here on YouTube. And me of the person that I play this game with. Getting chased around the map for what felt like over half an hour. Only just to get saved by a tier 5 Reaper who actually just fucking understands that we don't have jack shit for them to take. And if there was anything they wanted, they just asked. And guess what? They got it. And sure, that brig that was following us at that point might not even know English, which is another problem that I experience. Because I'm on EU servers, I don't have everybody on here speaking English. Like, if I run into some random dude right now and try to speak English, he either won't chat with me, or he might literally not even be English. So then kind of what the fuck is the point? Where's the fun in trying to communicate with people when they don't understand what you're saying? I've had several times when somebody tried to engage PvP, get a few shots off or something like that, and then they piss off once we try to engage them again. Then it becomes a chasing fight until we give up, go back to trying to do what we're doing, then they come back, rinse, repeat. And like, what's the point? It's really fucking annoying. It's really fucking annoying due to the whole fact that it's just wasting time. Who cares? And then on the other side of the scale, when you're getting attacked by somebody who you can't fight for either, like for example, if a galleon were to pull up now with 4 players, I would be fucked. There's nothing I could do about it. Where's the fun in that? Sure, they'd have a few things for them to take, but just fucking hand them that. Like, I don't care. And right now I am in the middle of trying to get money to get myself a captain's galleon, just so I have that unlocked and ready to go if ever need be. Because I can't make use of that or gain any money if I'm just constantly getting sunk. And before you say it, I get it, it's a pirate game. The name says it all, quote unquote. But I didn't know the name mattered to a game. Like, for example, Call of Duty. When did you get called to duty, quote unquote? Get it? It's a military theme still. But does that mean you have to act a certain way within the game? Do you have to be very strategizing like a real military army would work? No. In there, people run around just fucking quickscoping each other. I'm pretty sure IRL armies don't do that. So, I'm pretty sure they don't go fucking jumping around corners like this. So, why on the fucking earth does that matter in this game? When it doesn't in any other game. Yeah. And then I'm pretty fucking sure that pirates weren't just assholes, by the way. Pretty sure they actually knew what they were doing more than people are doing on here. And that's mainly the reason why I want a PVE similar experience. Because the PVE in this game is geniusly made. Sure, maybe everything ain't top notch, but it's much more fun than the PvP. Like, if I were to try to find somebody to PvP now, first of all, it would be a fucking hell of a way to try to find somebody. But I'd have to pick and choose who I fight very fucking carefully. And trying to PvP somebody while soloing anything is not easy at all. It's rather the complete and utter fucking opposite. It's like, I get it, I'm not supposed to be captained by only one person, but still, even as two people, it's very fucking difficult to defend yourself. So how exactly am I supposed to fight people who have been playing this game for years and honestly need to touch some grass? And by that I mean go out and get a life. Free loot. Oh, nice. Like, sure, I know how it is to no life a game. I played fucking D2 for years. But that doesn't mean that you have to play it so much that nobody else can compete. Especially the ones that start later on, when the game is actually taking traction and actually, like, reviewed as a pretty good game, quote unquote. Because that means then that you'll be ruining the game. And then with this community's, like, view on these issues, isn't helping. It sure as fucking ain't helping. Because it's effectively like telling somebody to get good. When has that helped fucking Dark Souls or whatever the fuck it originated from? I kind of don't give a fuck either. Anyway. It's like, when has that helped any kind of situation? I don't care about this. Or this. Turn slightly, okay. But yeah, like, the reason why I'd want a PvE server, or fucking just a passive mode where you can just spend time away from people where you can hurt people and people can't hurt you. Or some shit like that. Sure, it may be abused to farm a lot of money. Sure. But honestly, who cares? As long as people enjoy themselves. Ain't that the fucking point of a game? For people to enjoy themselves and have a good time? So what if many people end up hanging out in private servers or PvE servers? And honestly, that body blocking issue can be solved very fucking easily. By just making people pass through each other. And, like, for example, somebody can't steal your loot from aboard your ship, for example. I mean, like, if you have loot on an island, then that becomes then quite difficult to program without having issues with that. Because, like, for example, if somebody sinks due to a skeleton yell just popping out of nowhere, sinking them, and then somebody else comes across that sunk ship's corpse, and then can't pick up any of the loot, despite that not being on their ship anymore, can be a problem. But I mean, you can literally just put a 5-minute, or not 5-minute, 30-minute timer or some shit on it. Or make it until, like, they leave or get sunk. That it becomes pick-upable again. There's several ways to solve these issues. Now, I will say, sure, the server side of things will not work the same. Like, it will not be on the same server as I am playing on right now. Like, for example, if I for example, what I've done now is I've started my own captaincy ship and everything. If I did that, pulled a crew member in, then I would be the host of the session. I would start the server. Just like how you would in Gary's mod or anything like that. I'm not sure 100% on the issues of that, because I'm not exactly a developer per se. But I mean, it must be a lot fucking easier to implement than trying to solve the community's toxic behavior. Now, I will say, like, I'm not exactly like an angel, a saint. Sure, I've got a bit toxic as well, but only in like words. I give people a fair chance in the game, at least. If they don't give me a fair chance, then I'm gonna be toxic back. Because then I'm getting irritated, because then that's ruining my session. Now sure, sinking people and stealing alerts are part of the game, whatever. But what about the ones who want to just spend their time playing by themselves? Who don't really want trouble from people because of them either just starting out and don't really know what the fuck they're doing and still trying to like figure things out, or if they're doing a tall tale, for example. What about them? Should they be left behind? Because like most of the people that I see that say that it's not a problem or whatever and that it will never happen and shit like that are people who don't suffer these issues. I posted a Reddit thread the other day about that break that was following us and why people still fucking do this shit. And I got some legendary sea dog cunt comment and be like, tall tailors say they have nothing. I have a sinkable ship. I say they have a sinkable ship. What's the point? The fuck is the point? What do you get out of it? You don't even get the resources because they disappear with the fucking ship that you just sank. So literally, what did you gain? You didn't even get a commendation. Is that the only thing that can get your dopamine going? Because if so, go out, get a job, get a life. Like, honestly. It would be like picking on the tiny kid at school. What the fuck is the point? If the entire fucking community is like that, except for the ones who are actually suffering the problems and wanting a fix, then I think this entire community needs a fucking change. Because I sure as fuck don't see people staying around for this if they aren't fully into PvP. Because there are times that I enjoy PvP, sure. But they're against fairly skilled opponents that are around my skill level, around my time played, so they are a fair match. But it's like, this game doesn't have a matchmaking mode, so they can't skill-based matchmaking you like that. So, but that's fine usually, because usually you need to hit a roadblock in order to progress further. But what happened earlier when me and my crew decided to go into a Reaper mode, we had just finished a normal Skull Fort, not a Fort of Fortune, but the other one. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Just regular skeleton fort. Oh. Are you gonna be offensive or no? Cause I'm just chilling. Well, looks like we get a fucking... prime fucking example right here. Yeah, fine. I know exactly what to do with this. Fine. Go suck a dick, seriously. This is why I don't like the game. People can just pull up out of nowhere and just entirely destroy your entire session. Just chilling, talking to stream, doing nothing. Somebody pulls up and instantly destroys it. What did I have? A book, a singular flag, a mermaid gem. Is that it? How much was that worth? Barely 1,000? They use a cannonball. Maybe a bit of food. Still not worth it, honestly. 2 people, we want V1. They could have gone after that skull fort and gotten way more shit. Sure, they'd have a threat of some other player. At least they'd be better at a fight, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm just fucking chilling. Like, there's no. This game is pretty calming normally, because you're sailing the seas. Well, that's a calming thing. But the problem is, whoops, just balancing my audio real quick. The problem is that it's not calming when somebody can just pull up out of nowhere and instantly destroy your shit. I was thinking of not even streaming this in this game to begin with. I was thinking of just playing Genshin Impact while streaming and chatting about this issue. Like, what the fuck? When I don't even want to play the game to talk about its issues. Yeah. It's a pretty big issue. What the fuck is this? Oh, never mind, I scuttled the ship. Never mind. I tend to never scuttle the ship usually, so completely forgot how it does this. I didn't know it looked like I just. Well, I mean, I've never scuttled a captaincy ship before, so makes sense. Like, actually, no, they got 2 books because they got my book as well, but that's still kind of pointless. Like, if you're looking for PvP and getting loot, look for this flag and make sure it's a high level one. If not, don't bother. Because it's just not going to be worth it, honestly. I just want to play the game and enjoy myself. Because I enjoy this game's calming method of just being at sea. Managing the ship and going further. Sure, having a Megalodon or skeleton ship or cracking out of nowhere is fun, exciting. But that's a PvE threat. That's a lot easier to deal with than some rando fucking crew that pulls up and just decides to ruin your entire shit. And you can't fight them. Like, I couldn't fight those guys off even if I wanted to. Because I got you off guard. Because they legit make no noise approaching you as well. But that's fine. I wasn't really being perceptive either, because I'm trying to commentate about issues that Sea of Thieves are struggling with right now. And it probably will be for the rest of time, as people keep insisting on we're not adding private servers, in which it can only benefit from. Sure, people build up and build loot, and then sell it all at once and burn through new content. But honestly, who really cares? Then you did that to yourself. Like, it would be like if a new, let's say a new COD game launches, and you speedrun all the levels and all the attachments for all the guns and all that shit, and you just don't stop playing until it's done, or take a nap here and there or some shit like that. All you need to survive, but bare needs to survive. Just continuing to play every single day for the entire day, grinding it. Then that's not Rare's fault that you rush through content. Like, for example, in Warframe, when they add a new DLC, if you speedrun through everything they add, it doesn't matter how much they add. It's the same thing in D2. It's the same thing in every fucking game. It's only this game that the problem is so big for the community. Who cares if they rush through all the new content? Honestly, who cares if they rush through all the new content? It doesn't matter to me. Because, like, first of all, farming money, I'm gonna need several fucking million. I will need Mixelplex's entire fucking bank account in this game in order to catch up, even remotely. And even that won't be enough. So, getting all that money in a single haul? Shut the fuck up, that's not happening. Sure, people have earned millions and all that shit, but there's a singular sale going for Wait, I'm pretty sure that goes for 8 million. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly anyway. So, yeah, no. No. Nobody will be able to get all the content in this game at once. Because this is effectively a shopping simulator. So all the new customizations is the content, effectively. All the other content, the content that they added with this season, was a few ships, some effectively trinkets they can add on to your shit. But one problem is, that requires ship milestones, which is an utter fucking nightmare to deal with. Not only to mention everything else. Like, the reason why this has not changed, none of this shit has changed, is because I can't get any due to the commendations being so fucking slow to earn. Because people already speedrun content. Despite it not being a PVE only session. And I will argue, don't Alliance servers exist? Haven't people made those exist? How many people are at the end of the content line? How many people have every single cosmetic in the game that has not played for several years? Or since launch, or who is a streamer who plays 24/7? I sure as fuck have other games to play. I have other shit to do. I would rather enjoy my time on a game and get a bunch of progress done and feel like I'm actually accomplishing something than to get cockblocked several hours into grinding and lose everything just because one crew decided to be cunts. Like, I'm not up for that, man. It's honestly just destroying. Soul destroying, soul crushing, whatever you want to call it. And if you are gonna try to argue that that doesn't destroy the game, that sure as fuck does destroy the game. Let's say, look at a gacha game, a game like Genshin, which you have to effectively spin a slot machine in order to get progress on your characters, if your entire goal of collecting all the characters. Like, I sure as fuck want to. If you try to do that, and then you are missing this 5-star that's currently out on a banner, which is the most rarest kind of character that you can earn, and you do several pulls and get fuck all, doesn't that make you want to stop? So that's sure as fuck why I jumped off earlier today, when Sumer released. I didn't even want to do the story, because I wanted to get the character, but several pulls didn't reward me with anything other than a constellation for somebody I don't play whatsoever. Which is kind of why I kind of want them to install a constellation trading system. I want to get constellations for Razor, damn it! Like, if it gave me constellation for Razor, I wouldn't fucking say shit about it. I would have taken that and smiled about it. I would have been fucking pleased about it. But no, it gave me the constellation for Noelle, somebody I don't use. I don't think she's even leveled up to my current level. So, I couldn't care less. For all I could have cared about, it could have been a fucking blue it gave me. That's effectively what it gave me. It's not a 4-star that it gave me. It gave me a blue. A blue I don't care about. Sure, some people enjoy using Noelle. Sure. I'm not going to judge them for that. But I don't have her in my team. And I would rather have a 5-star or any other constellation for a character I actually run. Because it's just really shitty having just gotten fucked over for seemingly no reason. Just because, hey, guess what? You didn't get lucky. Like, I have no idea how to join an alliance server, but honestly, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to work in tandem with other people in order to create my own session, force my own session, force the servers to let me have a peaceful time. I should not have to do that. Where's the fun? I just don't find it fun. I don't find it fun destroying other people's time. Or wasting my own, honestly. I... fucking... yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I said this earlier, but... as I'm not following a script, I don't have everything sorted in my brain to go through. Because, well, this is the first time I'm ever, like, talking about problems like this. I'm pretty sure. And something that really needs to get sorted. As I've had several more times where I engage with people who are just toxic fucks and I can't do anything about it. And fucking earlier, me and my crew was on a galleon, 3-man galleon with just going Reaper just because everything we got could be sold. So, yeah, just went with that. Because we weren't really doing anything specific anyway. We weren't really wanting to PvP, we just wanted to grab a bunch of loot and just sell it and get on with our day, effectively. If people wanted to fight, then sure, we could try to engage in a fight. But I would rather want to not, as I wasn't in the mood to do PvP. I'm rarely in the mood for this game, this PvP. Because it just ain't fair. And like, I genuinely don't mean a skill gap fair either. It's not only that that's the problem with the whole skill or PvP. It's the fact that you can be easily outnumbered, and since the whole change on the respawn time, getting back off the ferry, it's a bigger problem now. And as especially bigger crews don't have a slower cooldown, it's even more fucked. As you can kill one person and then he'll come back half a minute earlier or later, like 30 seconds later. Like, you're barely gotten back on your feet, and you much less gotten to like, start fucking them over. like throwing their resources off the side of the boat, as some people do, or fucking taking their resources for yourself or something like that. It's been several times where I've barely been able to grab food out of their can to just eat and heal, as I'm all out. Sure, I've had times where I've dominated the other team as well. I've just had times where I'm literally spawn camping somebody because I'm waiting for my crewmate to drive the boat back around to sink them, as I didn't trust them at first. I was pretty sure they were gonna instantly fucking wipe me. So I have to wait for my teammate to drive the boat back around, fire cannonballs so that the boat will sink, because I can't fire cannonballs on when I'm on their ship, which is the problem about solo sloping. You can't really fight back. And as well as, like, you can't do everything all at once. You're only one person. There's a reason why there's supposed to be multiple people. But not everybody has people to play with. Not everybody has friends. It's a problem that D2 suffers as well. They have LFGs. This game has matchmaking. But the people you meet can vary. It's the same thing in D2, sure. But you're at least trying to accomplish something. And you're in sure chat with them. So that's that problem solved. Communication. In a game where communication is key. There's a reason why this exists. There's a reason why talking in the middle of the game exists. So many people don't use it. And it honestly doesn't help that the game on PC can sometimes completely fuck up and not actually allow you to chat in-game using push-to-talk or in-game voice chat at all. I've had times where the devices on my PC were actually swapped around and all that, and the game just went, you know what, you're not allowed to hear your friends anymore. And I didn't know what the fuck I assumed it was a problem on their end, like a game-breaking bug or some shit. But no, it was for some reason my audio settings had changed, and a different speaker and microphone was selected as standard units. The game doesn't tell you this, and it sure as fuck don't tell you how to solve it. It's a word of mouth solve for this shit. For a bug that shouldn't be in the game to begin with, because you should be able to go settings, either like input or audio settings or anything like that, and change it. But there's nothing. So what's the point? Like, when it becomes such a problem that many people don't even know how to chat in the game, maybe don't even know about this wheel, it's kind of a problem. Because that can make or break a crew. If they don't communicate, then I'm instantly out. As I can't... Well, if they listen, maybe use this wheel, maybe chat every now, like, type every now and then, or some shit, that's fine, as long as they listen. Because, like, if they don't even do that, because the game has some weird fucking bug with their audio systems, that allows them not to hear players in the game, I'm out. Like, I instantly don't care. Because I can't really work well with them. And I've had several Galleon open crews that are just out doing fuck all with no resources. I've had several times where I've joined a Galleon in a thing and have to hunt down wood. because there's nothing in the barrels. And I've had to go to islands and hunt down wood, or cannonballs, or food, or all for that matter. And then another issue is like if you are on an open crew brig or whatever, and you join somebody else's captainship, and they end up leaving for whatever reason, you can no longer sell it to this person just because they left. Despite it still being a captain ship, as the name's still there. If somebody looks at you through their spyglass, they'll still see the pop-up. It's effectively a captain ship without any of the benefits. Which at that point, why? I'ma get the fuck up on out of here. Didn't know I was that close to that event. But yeah, a PVE server would help new players get a bit more acquainted with said game. It'll help them get a bit more standing in the game, a bit more foothold in the door than most people had when they started. Or just offer people a great area to relax. Like, I seriously don't agree. Let me actually check to see if that's still a thing. Because if that's still a thing, I'm still not going to be happy about it. Because, like, the sandbox mode of this game, quote unquote, as I saw earlier today, this was a year-old video or so though, would suck ass, honestly. This here would suck ass. From what I've heard, as I can't exactly be in one, you can't earn money, you can't get quests, anything you obtain is instantly gone. So the entire point of it is gone, except for content creators and the 1% of the community who never complain about many of the issues that the game has, except for, oh, my shots sometimes don't hit, which I've never really experienced myself. Through my over 200 hours, I've never really experienced a shot hitting and them never dying repeatedly. So to be honest, sounds more like an invincibility cheat to me, but okay. So, where the fuck's the problem? Where's the fuck's the solution? A private server. I enjoy playing the game, but I don't enjoy getting obliterated by somebody and then having to suffer the consequences because I couldn't fight back. Or because I couldn't do anything to fix said issue or whatever. Where is the fairness in this? And I am gonna be honest, paying money to save a loadout to your ship is kind of bullshit. It's low-key kind of bullshit. Especially considering it's not a cheap save either. Like, considering there's cannons, there's wheels, there's capstan, there's cannon flare. Oh yeah. Cannon, wheel, capstan, sails, cannon flare. 5 or 6 items. Just that. And then they also added several more through through the fact of captaincy, like bed, table, so on. So you can add several more onto that. So let me see here. To save a new figurehead is 7,500. Does not change anything on the on what figurehead it is. Still 7,500. A new hull, 7,500. It's already 16k. Then sales, another 7,500. The wheel, 5,000. Bit better. Cannons, 5,000. A bit better, but still does not help, as that's now 10k just those two items. Capstan, another 5,000. What's these? 2,500, but I mean they're just cannon flares. That's not that much. That's actually fair, the price thing there. But this pricing is not nice, especially for somewhere where you can get sunk for seemingly no fucking reason whatsoever. You could just be going on about your merry business, and then somebody can go, "Oh, you're an easy target. Die." What's the point? I don't get it. I honestly just don't. Like, this price, 280 or 208,000 for just curtains. Only equipped on a galleon. What the fuck? That does not seem fair. And then some items only being allowed to put on a Captain Galleon, which I get why, as this thing doesn't have a chair. So, fine. But I mean, curtains. Right there. But I can't put curtains on, apparently. Not that curtain, anyway. Why? I don't fucking know. I mean, what the fuck? And then, like, having to regrind everything just because of new show. Which means, effectively, for every ship you get, if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna be simple, I'm gonna get only a singular one of every ship type, you'll have to do all of this 3 times. And they can go to above 50. And since the release happened, I have only gotten this one to 45. And this one mostly goes up due to just islands visited. And days at sea. Like, that just, no. Like, feared. Feared is actually kind of irritating to level that. So is the emissary. Hunter, it's just gonna take a really long time, but still. But having to redo that every single fucking time just to get a couple cosmetics to match each other. Kinda dumb. Kinda dumb, IMO. Like, but I mean, that's a grind. That would be fair if we had the ability to grind that without just losing everything instantly. Within a matter of seconds. Then I wouldn't give a fuck. Honestly. But since you can get Shunk, even if you're in alliance with somebody,
Yeah, what?
then what the fuck is the point? I sure as fuck don't see the point. It doesn't seem fun to me just to have everything taken away instantly. Now, sure, I get it, like, games like Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, have the thing that you'll lose what you have on, what you take with you in there if you die. Which, sure. But the thing is, that game is designed around PvP, and mostly have some AI combatants shoving in there. They don't have treasure systems where you have to dig, you have to solve riddles, you have to go through tunnels. You don't have story quests, per se. There is some story to the game, sure, but you don't have tall tales, effectively. So it just doesn't work the same. And the whole, the loot isn't yours until it's sold kind of bullshit is, it sounds like a lot of fucking copium, honestly, as people would say these days. That you're just coping with a bad design flaw. Sure, pirates, whatever. But if I was selling over there, somebody could just pull up, start selling my shit without doing anything to earn it. You should have to do something to earn it, like sink the ship in a fair fight, not jump 3 people, not boarding with 3 people, and spawn killing somebody until their ship is sunk. 3 people, by the way, boarded our Reaper galleon, who didn't even want to fight earlier today. 3 people spawn camped on a single thing, when easily 2 of them could have boarded us and kept us dead. And like a second person just helps out on their ship. Like, using your brain like that would be way better. The thing is, the people that killed us weren't even Reaper themselves. They weren't actually alliance with anything. They just killed us for no reason. And then to try to just yoink some loot. But the thing is, they didn't even benefit from it. Because no emissary. I don't get the point. I honestly just don't. Just give us private servers so that the people who want a private server can go in there. So that the conversation can just be over. Over and done with. And I mean, honestly, if you insist on not adding PVE servers, you might just be contributing to your own game's demise. I'm gonna be honest. 'Cause it's getting stale, getting destroyed by people who don't touch fucking grass. I have several other games I'd rather play. The only thing I'd finish off is do the final Tall Tale and the Gold Hoarder Saga thing. And then never touch the game again. If I could, I'd still take a refund. Because I spent a lot of fucking money on this game. Like, I also bought, like, in-game items. Well, maybe not that thing. I bought this thing. Bought a dog. I have bought a banjo that I actually kind of earned. That's not here? Wait, no, I didn't buy it yet. Never mind. Scratch that. I bought a costume. Most of everything else I've earned. Well, except for like this, I bought the sail. Well, not these sails. The Duke set I didn't exactly buy, as I managed to do what I was required to get it. So yeah, and then the figurehead over there I bought, and not much else I've purchased with real money. I don't think. I don't know, I'll prop the previous battle pass, but that's it. But I didn't exactly realize that it was going to be this flawed, the PvP. It doesn't seem fun just getting obliterated by somebody who literally doesn't touch grass. Meanwhile, I can't even get good to fight back. Like, where's the point? Like, I can be sitting minding my own business just like earlier and be instantly destroyed because I was just trying to mind my own business and relax a bit on a game. On a game that's actually pretty relaxing and pretty fun when you take into the consideration of PVE. You feel like you accomplished something every time you get done with something PVE related. You actually have fun. All until some fucking crew decides, you know what, I'm gonna be an asshole today, and comes by and ruins your entire game. Where's the whole fun in that? I sure as fuck don't see it. Do you? Where's the fun in absolutely curb stomping somebody when they can't fight back? I'd rather feel sorry. Back when I had like just started, well, maybe not just started, but starting to get into like still in my starting period. I had not unlocked many cosmetics yet. I had sure as fuck not earned Pirate Legend. I was still in the middle of that grind. Still working on Gold Hoarder, the very first one I leveled up. Had probably not even unlocked vaults yet, much less knew how to do them. I had to attack or probably was just starting to do vaults or something like that. And there was this sloop nearby that we felt threatened by. So we decided to sink it, to have it out of the way, so we didn't have to worry about it. I end up boarding, and end up effectively spawn camping this dude repeatedly until the ship sank. I literally apologized to him on his deck while he was dying. Explained to him that just simply didn't trust him. Whether or not he would want to be friendly. Because previously to that, we had also been asked to go into an alliance and all that. We entered an alliance, we're just sitting there at the dock at the outpost, letting them sell. Just sitting there minding our own business. And then they started opening fire for no reason, sinking us. And this was before captaincy was released, so it wasn't even a captain ship. They earned fuck all. Not even resources. We literally had nothing. We had just sold. We had just sold our stuff. So it was literally pointless. Like, if they were going off, we would have just continued on with our merry way. If they took off again, we would have gone a different direction. Like, trusting people in this game is a fucking mistake. And I will be honest, rare adding a rule, don't be toxic or some shit like that, into the little paper thing next to the door as one of the rules of the sea or whatever, wouldn't change anything. The only way to solve this issue is actually just a PvE server. Adding the sovereigns to make it easier to sell still ain't helping the issue. Honestly. Still ain't. Adding another rule to this doesn't change shit. Hold on. The Sea unites us as one community. Yeah, no, it fucking don't. Clearly not. People who do tall tales are clearly like not a community. They're their own community of their own, apparently. As anybody else who plays the game and farms money sees them as a fucking target. They see them as prey, effectively. Disputes are settled upon the waves. No, not really. All crewmates are equal. Apparently not.
Hey, come over here.
Crew bond is sacred. That literally changes fuck all because you can't kill your crewmates. Respect new pirates and their voyage ahead. Sure ain't fucking helping. When you can have people who have played this game for God knows how long, instantly annihilating people who are of lower crew size, clearly of lower crew skill, as they can't fight back. So where the fuck's the fucking line here? Sure, telling a new player that they should fuck off and go to a different game goes under that, sure. It's like, what about possibly helping each other? Because sure as fuck ain't a thing in this game. And the reason is I've not had a single person want to like help out first and not open fire instantly. Sure, those Reapers helped the other day when we were trying to do a tall tale. Say, if we didn't get attacked in the first place, we wouldn't have been in that situation where we had to bomb rush the Reaper in order to try to get help. Like, what the fuck? To the point where we have to rush a PvP thing and give them a target is dumb. And then another experience I've had with shitty team enemies, not teammates. Teammates are actually pretty great, but shitty enemies to deal with was once when we were getting chased by a sloop and a brig at the same time, which that's 6 people if you want to count the max. Wait, no. Sloop and a brig. No, that's 5 people. Never mind. But still, I still 1 more than a galleon, and still 3 more than a singular sloop. How is a singular sloop supposed to fight that? And I don't give a fuck if a streamer has accomplished it. Because first of all, they do nothing but breathe this game. Sure, I want to be the streamer as well, but I want to do several games. I want to generate a community that is making jokes, getting by in life, cheering each other up. I don't give a fuck about playing a singular game every single fucking time I get on to do a stream. I've done Beat Saber, I've done Destiny 2, I've done Genshin, and more probably to come. I don't find it fun sticking with a single game for too long. It's just not enjoyable. I did that once with D2 and I got seriously burned out, so burned out I barely played. So what's the point? Sure, I can't stream a single game. I'm not gonna tell others to stop. But don't use them as an example. That's like using esports players' feedback in a in any game. It's not gonna help anyone but them. And the thing is, they're not 99% of your community. Appeasing to the 1% doesn't help. That's the problem. It's the same shit in this game as well. And it's mostly streamers, YouTubers, people who have surely played this game for way too much than they probably should. And clearly, if that dude that commented and complained that all tall tailors have a sinkable ship or whatever, had legendary Sea Dog, then he for sure played too much arena. I mean, he had on Reddit, I don't know how the fuck the Reddit title is right, but still. I'm pretty sure it compares to in-game achievements. Because if you could just apply legendary Sea Dog to yourself, that kind of seems dumb. And kind of pointless, if you ask me. But yeah. So, why does he have a say in this, considering he is not a part of the percentage that's getting fucked over? The percentage that's getting fucked over are people who don't enjoy this PvP. Sure, I guess it's a PvE VP game, or whatever the fuck. I kind of think that term shouldn't exist, as it seems like you're just trying to shove PvE and PvP together, in which doesn't really work, just like a Destiny 2. That game has several issues I don't even want to get into. I can make a separate video if that's wanted. Or a separate stream. But for the time being, let's keep this Sea of Thieves related. Because several people would want to do PvE instead of PvP. But the thing is, PvP ruins PvE. Because PvE takes time to earn everything. And you earn everything through hard work. It would be like, let's say, if somebody builds a house for somebody, then the person that was supposed to like pay for the house or whatever just steals the keys or whatever the fuck they require to have the house. Just steals everything, and the person who built it earns fuck all. Where's the fairness in that? If that were to happen IRL, shit would go down. And I get it, this is a pirate game. Laws don't really hold up, but I don't care about laws. Laws ain't what I'm holding up here. I'm holding up that why should any players who like the PvE and stay in the game when they'll just get effectively used? Why shouldn't they just leave for a different game? Leave for, let's say, Warframe, for example. That's a PvE game. Sure, it has a PvP mode, but that shit fucking died. But that's a fun PvE game. Sure, it's a time sink, but you at least feel like a fucking war machine that's unstoppable. So, why the fuck not go with that game instead of this? Where you'll effectively just get used as a pinata. What's the fun? What's the fun in spending hours of your probably limited time? As most people I've seen complaining about this are people who don't have several hours a day to spend to constantly grind the game. I kind of do, but I mean, I also kind of don't, because I play several games and not only one. Which means I technically don't have several hours to play. Because sometimes I don't even play the game at all. Let's just say there was a big break since I last played. I effectively got Pirate Legend, took a break for a while due to other issues, but still, I took a break and came back to the game because I want to start playing it again. But the thing is, PvP is now stopping that. So how do I want to continue to play the game if I'm just gonna spend several hours only for it to go to waste? The fuck is the point? Like, why even bother? Why even bother if it's gonna be pointless? What's the fun in spending hours grinding money only to have it all lost to singular Reaper or just a random fucking crew that's not even teamed up with Reaper or any other fucking emissary for that matter? Steal your shit for seemingly no reason. Just by not being emissaried up with anyone. What's the point? Why is this game on fire on sight to anyone? Oh wait, I know why. Because it started because everybody started firing on sight and killing anyone they saw. And I'm pretty sure pirates weren't like that. Sure, they probably fought each other, sure. But I'm pretty sure they didn't fight each other for nothing. I'm pretty sure they didn't fight each other for a kill to death ratio or some shit like that. Because I'm pretty fucking sure last time I saw, there was not a commendation, in gear or not, for sinking somebody else's ship. Let's try the feared one, which I would say would be the PvP kind of thing. The ill-fated. Nope. Just time sunk. The rogue. Nope. The feared. Nope, that's all about PvE related shit. The hunter. That's the PvE hunter thing. The emissary. It's about emissaries. Reaper's Bones. Sure. PvE. But I mean, can very well be a fucking PvE Reaper. And be just fine. Maybe even much better than a PvP Reaper. The Voyager. I don't say anything about PvP here. Salter is completed though. The Gold Seeker. Don't see anything that would need you to sink somebody for an achievement or anything. What about in here? Is it a Beldret? Sea Forts maybe? No? Who could have fucking thought this shit about Fort of the Damned? I see no one doing this shit. Legend of the Sea. Don't know if anybody's even doing this. Cruise of Rage. Use fire against gold guns, shit like that. It's all PvE. Nothing says anything about sinking somebody else's ship. So, sinking a tall tailor, effectively what you're doing is killing someone for the fun of it. It's not worth your time. Why bother? Is it funny ruining your own game? That you supposedly love so much that you can't keep playing it? What are you gonna do when everybody stops playing because it's not fun anymore? Every new player stops playing. The main reason why like Trials fails in my mind is because it becomes just a toxic cesspool of people who don't do nothing but play competitive. I get it, the mode is supposed to be
I have a favor
competitive,
to ask.
but no new player comes in because of how competitive people make it and how little there is to help the new players. I mean, like, skill-based matchmaking, flawless pools so that people who are already flawless can go into their own separate pool. And then the more times you go flawless, the more in your own pool you go. So that you can face people of your own same level. And I'm gonna be honest, it kind of doesn't help that it resets, like disappears after every weekend. Just kind of stick around the entire week in my mind. Like Iron Banner, because then more people get the chance to try it as well. I get it, it used to be this super unique game mode, but times are changing, get with it. The thing is, they much more want more people to spend more time in a mode than less people ever join the mode or join the mode once and then stop at all. Not even bother about anything else. Like, what's the point? But I literally don't see it. So honestly, just give us PVE servers, and then if you want to add a little bit more of a threat on the seas, you can add emissary ships to try to like emulate players on board. Like they, is my ship sinking? Could've sworn I heard the fucking boat have a hole in it, apparently. But, like, emulate, for example, two ships on, or like a ship on Merchant, one on Gold, one on Athenas, one on Reapers. And then, like, either make them have, like, 25% chance to team up with you, 25% chance to go after you, trying to kill you, and then a 50% chance to just leave you alone until provoked. For example. Unless provoked. That would solve the whole no threat on the seas issue. And if it's a PvE server and somebody's trying to be an asshole and just body block, just make sure they can physically interact with you. And make it so that, like, any loot placed on board your ship cannot be interacted with anyone but your crew. Not even Alliance members. And then for on land, it would have to be a balancing thing that would have to change over time to try to see which one would fit the most. Because it would be like, I would say 30-minute timer or until the ship sinks kind of deal on when other people can pick it up. Like, if you place your entire loot source here, it would be like either a half an hour or until your ship sinks that can be picked up. Obviously, you'll still have the hour despawn time, obviously. That wouldn't change. But you'd have like 30 minutes before anyone else can come and pick anything up. Now, I'm sure that might be kind of fucked, considering you can steal somebody's Athena's chest and then just place it back down. They can't do anything about it. But I mean, if your ship sinks, then you're kind of fucked. Because if your ship is sunk, and you're on an island or on a rowboat or something, it stays sunk until you hitch a ride with a mermaid. Which means that anything you pick up and place down after that will just instantly become available to everybody as because you don't have a ship. Your ship is sunk. So if you do a tuck to try to steal somebody's loot, your ship sank in the meantime and you didn't realize because you never had an emissary on or anything, so you didn't notify you, you would effectively not be able to do jack shit, as they would just be able to pick everything up. But the thing is, that's why I think there should be a solo private session kind of thing, so where other people aren't allowed to interact with you. You're in a session of your own. And how the player issue would be solved then is, like I said earlier, one on Merchant, one on Order, one on Gold, one on Athena, and then one on Reaper. That is an AI steered ship, kind of like a skeleton ship, or they just like rotate in between, or it's random every time that you start.
Hey, come over
And you
here.
can check. Lorena, can you shut the fuck up? You can check the tables just like normal. So everything is exactly the same, except that it's AI and not people. That'll seem fine with me, honestly. And that would then make it so that the complete threat isn't gone. Sure, it's slightly easier, sure, because it's not a player that you're fighting. But you're still at a threat. You can still sink from a skull sloop. Sure, it's a lot less likely. But I mean, they wouldn't be sloops either, I don't think. Galleons is what you'd be fighting. Which does make it quite a lot harder for you if you were to be playing a sloop, for example. But if you were playing a sloop on this, you can just try to outrun them. And then when you get to a certain distance, they just leave you alone. Because they wouldn't see the point of following you anymore. Or something like that to avoid them. Like once they lose line of sight, they'll try to adjust search mode, so they'll try and search around where you used to be, or something, who knows. That's a whole different discussion to begin with. So I'm not going to get into it, as, first of all, that would require me to brainstorm some ideas that I haven't brainstormed yet. So I won't know your answers. Won't know any answers to any questions. Bring them up down in the comments and I can try and brainstorm some stuff up and see what I can come up with. But I would be very glad to try to help come up with some ideas to get a private server thing underway. Cause this game is struggling from a toxicity standpoint. First, never mind. This is not a captaincy ship. Ignore me. I keep forgetting because I'm usually on one. But like, there's several problems with this community. The fact that everybody is huffing copium as much as your average hyper drugged out drug addict is fucking insane. Just going, oh, it's a pirate game. You knew that. I knew I would be a pirate. Going to islands, looting treasure, and digging up shit, and solving shit, and even in like the trailer or whatever the fuck themselves, they define the pirate as you entering tombs with and being able to solve shit with only a lantern in the hand, and or some shit like that as well. That is what stuck with me. Not the fact that I could kill somebody and steal somebody's shit. That just seems like Asshole Simulator. Why don't you just go play Thief Simulator at that point? Maybe you'll actually pick up a valuable skill. Who the fuck knows? But you won't pick up a skill here, I'm pretty fucking sure of that. So, like, if you're just here for PvP, go play a different game. Because the PvP in this game ain't great. There's a reason why people complain about it. PvP is fundamentally flawed quite often. Not many games can pull it off. To say I played another game recently, which is all about trying to like, dragon riding and fighting each other with dragons, or riding dragons, and shit like that. With flame breath, flame balls, whatever the fuck, fireballs. Even that PvP is flawed because the amount of animations that the dragons that are controlled by these quote-unquote pro players who supposedly know how to have mastered the movement or whatever looks so fucking unnatural, and it just don't look great. And that's not a fault in the animation studio or anything like that. That's a fault in the fact that it becomes unfair because people dump way too much time into it, and then they start getting so good that most other people can't compete.
Hey, come over here. I have a favor to ask.
Let's just say I've had a time when somebody who is apparently really skilled 1v1 nearly an entire full team and still got out and pulled the win off. Somehow. I don't know how. Props to him, but still. Like, calm down. Give others a chance to compete. Maybe it'll be a bit more fun as well. No? Time to jump off the game, please. Because it stops being fun for everybody else. But just look at Diablo Immortal. Look at how pay to win that is and how free to play players are getting fucked. Is that fun to play against people who you can't fight? Skill or paid?
Hey,
Doesn't matter.
here. I have a favor to ask.
Now, if anybody's just gonna try an insult, I'm just gonna delete your comment. If you're just gonna be a toxic cunt, I'm just gonna yeet your comment off the platform. So, keep it respectful. Either offer ideas, questions, solutions. Solutions that doesn't include deal with it or get good or some bullshit like that. Because I'm done hearing shit like that from this community. This Sea of Thieves community needs to get its act together. Because this game right now is not at its best. For most people. The only people that really enjoy it are people who don't stop putting time into it until they pass out in bed or get food. I might even still play the game while they're eating their food. Like, sure, I've ate food while playing the game myself several times. But I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 games installed. 15 different games in this game. That's installed right now, just by Steam alone. Which means anything on any other launcher is not counted. So that doesn't count PlayStation, Xbox, Battle.net, fucking Genshin Impact doesn't even count. So you can count several more than those. You can count probably way over 20. 20 different games that's not the Sea of Thieves I can play. And offering me a solution, then just go and playing those games. Go play those games then, if this is so bad. That's also gonna get yeeted, by the way. As it's not contributional whatsoever. Like, if you're gonna deliver something that doesn't contribute to the subject, fuck right off. We're here to get to the bottom of this. Is a PVE server needed for players of less skill, newer players to get sorted, or just for a calm time. If you ask me, yes. Because right now, the protection from toxicity in this community is nothing. This little piece of paper in here says fuck all. Because first of all, I can't report anyone. How do I report someone in this game for not following this rule? Do I have to start a support ticket? Okay. What the fuck is their names? I don't fucking know. I can't see them. I can't see them before I'm dead. It's not like I have a kill cam or able to see a scoreboard. So how the fuck am I supposed to find their name?
Come over here.
Arena, shut the fuck up. And her dialogue needs to get shut the fuck up. Cause it's fucking tedious. But yeah. Just trying to get a simple answer from some people will engage in toxicity. And people acting like they're better than everybody else. That's exactly what that dude on Reddit did. So, and I'm not gonna go calling out names, because I'm not gonna send hate people's way. Not that I have many people to send hate with anyway, but still. Because that's just very fucking unprofessional. And I'm not here to send hate, I'm here to try to solve an issue that a game is suffering. I don't give a single flat fuck about other people. Other people's opinions. That doesn't contribute to anything. Other than being a toxic little bitch. Like, I would much rather have a PVE server and have some people finish the content within 2 seconds of it being out than having several new people give up on the game because people in the game keep killing them and they aren't able to fight back. And no amount of tips and tricks will help you. It literally doesn't matter how many tricks you pull off. I had one time where I was lucky and we were able to sneak out of a group and they just gave up after that. That was the sloop and brig that was following me and my crewmate that one time. And we got extremely lucky that we managed to hide behind a rock. The brig took a very fat turn, and we were able to slip out in between this like archway thing. Like, me and my crewmate was like behind there, like locked in between some stuff. And then the brig went all the way around here, tried to cut us off. But we slipped out through there, and the sloop tried to follow us through here. Actually, no. They tried to meet us here. We entered in some brief firefights. We shot a singular cursed cannonball, which put them to sleep, or something like that. Which locked them in area, so they went straight. Couldn't follow us anymore. And then we peeled off directly the opposite direction from where the brig and sloop were going. And after that, they just gave up. That was very fucking lucky that we pulled that off. Sure, it was a great idea. I'm not only saying that because I'm pretty sure I came up with it. But I'm not going to even take the credit because honestly it wasn't even that big of an idea, honestly. I just saw the opportunity to just stop. And hopefully the brig would just miss us completely. And then we could just peel out. I saw the opportunity and just went for it, and thankfully paid off. But not to my credit. Probably was just more my crewmate's credit that it actually worked, because they could have just took off and not trusted it, as the sloop could see us the entire time. But since the sloop and brig didn't have perfect communication over range, they couldn't communicate that we were stopped and to go through the arch instead of around the arch. So their brig fucked up and let us slip by. There's nothing the sloop could do about it because of the brig fucking up. So it's due to human error that we got out on it. Human error and trust from a crewmate. That was it. I sure as fuck was not big brained at that section. At that second, I just saw the opportunity and went for it. And 99% of the time, you're not gonna have that opportunity to get away doing something like that. 99% of the time, you won't even have the chance to get to a position to do that. So, like, all the tips and tricks of doing anchor turns or hook turns doesn't help you, because you're not even gonna get to the chase state, which is the problem. And when you get to the chase state, you tend to stay in it for incredibly long amounts of time, because either the person doesn't get the hint, or it's just very fucking adamant. Because usually when you enter a chase state, you know they're approaching. And you most likely don't have any loot aboard, and you just don't want to lose your resources. Due to the food being very fucking important if you're doing a tall tale, especially if you're doing a tall tale. As, yeah, you'll usually be facing enemies head on. So like planks, chain shots, crystal cannonballs don't really matter. Because I tried to reason with those previous people. Not a word back. If I'm not mistaken. Not a singular word. Like, where's the fun in that? I'm trying to reason because they could take all the fucking resources I had. I didn't want them. I'm just sailing around because, like, the game is visually good looking. The game mechanics in and of itself doesn't suck. It's only the PvP part, the human part, that Rare is not in control of. That is wrong. The problem is. The thing is, can't do anything about that either. Unless they implement private servers. Implementing a rule here and there will not help. As reporting somebody is about as easy as fucking, yeah, going to a party as an introvert. Yeah, that shit ain't easy. If you see an introvert at a party, fucking congratulate them. Because they're going so far out of their comfort zone, it's not even funny. Like, what's the point of fighting in a game where, especially when the fight doesn't reward you with anything? Ain't the point in this game to get stuff and sell it? Then why sink somebody who doesn't have anything? That's my question. I seriously just don't get it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here as I'm kind of dumb and rambling, honestly. Kind of done with it. It's pissed me off. I've been pissed for hours. I'm pissed for hours. That's how much it's annoying. You can do tall tales, have nothing on your ship, still get sunk. Have barely anything on your ship, still get sunk. And the people will give you no chance at succeeding. Like, who do you think I am? A streamer? I sure as fuck can't fight them. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do? How was I supposed to fight those guys earlier, by the way? Like, at this point, it's just fire on sight. Because you shouldn't trust anyone, because the community made itself not trusted. It's like a cheating wife trying to ask for fucking forgiveness. But doing so while cheating on them. In front of them. Like, what? Like, I found a review on Steam. I'm gonna try and read it out real quick. I said I don't really want to put this dude on the stream and possibly send some hate towards him, because I fully agree with him. But he said that if you're a solo or duo player, don't bother playing until they implement private servers. The toxicity of this player base is worse than Flint, Michigan water. It's the Sea of Thieves, not Sea of Friends, comes to mind when I find myself complaining about my misfortune, but there really is nothing more frustrating than wasting hours of my limited time weekly to be sank for no logical reason. If I have no protection against toxic players who wish nothing more than to see my sloop at the bottom of the ocean, regardless of loot, then it's not Sea of Thieves, and it most certainly isn't Sea of Friends. So it's kind of just a sea of assholes, or sea of brain-dead 5-year-olds. And I agree. And then he says this about open crews. When I try playing with randoms to increase your chances of not having your game session ruined and time wasted, sorry, we only got sea of Xbox kitties breathing and screeching down their mics incessantly until you can't take it anymore. I haven't exactly had that issue, but I've had my own fair share of issues with Open Crew. More specifically, that there's no communication at all. Or that most people don't even fucking join. Or that I load in and I just see somebody leaving. Instantly. Just because I didn't load in first. Or some shit like that. Like, what's the point? This shit, Rare can't fix? Rare can't fix that. I'm not asking them to. I'm asking them to fix it so that people can play solo and duo a lot more. Because solo and duo is actually more fun. More calming. Sure, entering a galleon and getting a massive fuck ton of loot and being this unstoppable tank that it is. Sure, it's fun as well. But I would rather play with only that one crewmate of mine. I mean, sure, I'd still play, like, open crews and stuff with them, but, like, most of the time, I'd rather just spend on my own with them, as it's much more fun. And it's much more calming, and it just feels much better. But not to get too much into that, I can't do that because most of the time, I get instantly murked, or we get instantly fucking shit on trying to do anything where we're like not hiding. We had just completed a normal fortress and gotten the loot aboard and put it all into this nice stack in the captain's quarters of the galleon that we were running in. And we had just set sail to this Fort of Fortune that had just appeared. We were nowhere close to it, and we just see this galleon pulling up in front of us, just heading straight for us. We try to turn a bit as we were slightly off course already. They turn to instantly try to cut us off. And this is the galleon that boarded us with 3 people. Making it nearly impossible for us to try to keep up. I sure can't keep up. Like, when you load in from the ferry, you load in, you don't know where anyone is at. The bigger the ship, the more of a problem this is. Because for all you know, they can be standing behind you with a shotgun to the back of your head. I think I'm entering the Red Sea now. I mean, I don't care if I sink anyway. Because this is not a captain's ship, so I don't care. But, like, it doesn't matter if the sloop is the most tankiest one or whatever the fuck, just because it takes a lot longer for it to sink than your usual ship. Because, first of all, your ship still sinks way too fast for you to be able to kill said third partier that is on there killing you and be able to repair your ship before you sink. Like, how are you supposed to deal with it? Exactly. Because I'm pretty fucking sure it's not that possible. Like, I sure as fuck wouldn't bother. Like, the game's gotta undergo some renovation to make. I'm just not gonna pick that up because last time I did, I fucking instantly died. For a singular mermaid gem, a couple books, and a singular tier 1 flag. That was it. I would have gladly just fucking given it to them. It's like if they pulled up with their old megaphone going, if you don't hand us all your loot now, then we'll engage in a fight. I would have just handed the loot over, honestly. Like, anyone that doesn't have an emissary flag or any flag up or have the alliance flag up or something like that, either do that. If you don't want an alliance, do that, and give them the choice of fighting or not, and be done with it. Maybe you can like go like give us some of your loot so you don't take it all or something like that, and be a bit more fair in an agreement. But this is all occasion to occasion shit. So who cares? Like, I'm not gonna get into that. But PVE servers, or at least private servers, that aren't completely useless, offers as sandbox mode or custom game mode. Honestly, that's a terrible fucking idea to begin with. Because honestly, who gives a fuck? A race mode. Oh, who cares? Didn't even know it existed and nothing changed. So who cares? I sure as fuck don't. I just want to be able to enjoy a game I bought without having carts who love to destroy somebody else's session on a game. For no other reason than to be an asshole. I have been live for over an hour and 50 minutes ranting about this shit. This shit's been on my mind since I first started doing this fucking tall tale. I mean, from this one to this one. Before then, it wasn't as necessary because I didn't really run into many cunts who just wanted to ruin everybody's day. But ever since I started that, it's nearly been person after person ruining it. Even when I stopped doing the tall tales. I seriously just don't see the point of sinking somebody out of nowhere. Fuck. I just don't see the point. What's the point of sinking somebody who's doing a story mode? If you need cannonballs or something, just ask them. They might hand it to you because they literally might need it, might not need it. So you need some cursed cannonballs or something, ask them. Well, I get it, language barriers can be a problem. That's not much you can do about, except for try to learn the language, but if you don't, then I can't exactly help you. As I'm not a developer on this game, clearly. Otherwise, shit would be a bit different. Like, private servers would already be here. And the thing is, it's not going to ruin the game mode as much as people think. Sure, a few people will go into there. Maybe some people might even take advantage of it and farm money in there. But the thing is, after they get what they want, and when they don't really start caring about their loot, they might just go into the regular game mode. And start PvPing along with you. And risking loot and shit. I don't see the fog this thick. Cares. But, like, yeah. I just want to enjoy the game in my own private server at this point. Why a private server isn't a thing in the first place, I don't get. Why am I hearing whales? think I've ever heard that before. What the fuck? But hey, please add it in. The people that are actually suffering kind of need it to be able to play this game. I was able to get to Pirate Legend, but if I try to use this outfit, I'm gonna have a target on my back for just liking an outfit. Like, why does cosmetics matter? Cosmetics are just cosmetics, aren't they? They sure as fuck are to me. So why do people care so much about what they mean or shit like that? I honestly couldn't give less of a shit if you're running the Ashen Dragon set or not. What I'll say is have fun. Why is the fog turn blue? Went from reddish to blue. What the fuck? Reddish to white, then blue. Is a whale about to just destroy my boat out of nowhere? It's like, I just don't get the point. Sometimes it's fun destroying somebody, but that's only if they're around your skill level and you're actually doing well. Like, you're playing well. I am gonna hit that. I think, anyway. Or not. So, yeah, I couldn't give less of a shit if people wanted to PvP each other. I just don't want to be a part of it. Because I don't see it fair for Sloop to have to go up against 4 people who can respawn pretty fast. To the point where it becomes not a 1v4, more a 1v8. I don't have the ammo, much less ability to do that. Like, just give us private servers. And I don't mean private sandbox servers. If you think I'm talking about that, no. Change your mind. If you refuse to add it, either quit working on the game or change your mind, in my mind. Because toxicity is a massive fucking problem in this game. It's not even funny anymore. It's gotten to the point where people will call each other names. Whether or not that goes against the rules. Because it's so bullshit. Like, sure, somebody shouldn't be racist or whatever, but yeah. Like, I've seen several comments about the community itself still making, or having made a, or somebody found a, rando ship whose name was blatantly racist, which somehow it was accepted. The dude reported them and probably had their ships also check that, and people were like celebrating that Rare decided to ban somebody that wasn't actually under investigation for because the ship names that were might have been slightly suggestive, sure, but they were honestly just funnier than offensive. So, IMO, they should not have gotten banned. Or, well, not banned, but gotten punishment for their ship names. Because honestly, their ship names was, if anything, just funny. It's kind of retarded. And there's some snowflake out there is gonna go, and that's offensive because I used the word retarded. Go ahead, make the comment. Go ahead. I've been waiting for someone to do that. Let's just say. Because guess what? I'm fucking retarded myself, and I'm not even joking. I have autism. But back to the point at hand. We need a way so that people who don't enjoy PvP at all can go enjoy their time. So people who have work, have life, don't spend every day on the computer, or on the same game specifically, can spend their time and actually enjoy it instead of getting their day ruined by some cunty crew. Because I didn't know pirates were assholes to each other for no reason. Sure, I knew they backstabbed each other. Sure, I knew that they backstabbed each other for money, specifically for wealth, for treasure. Because that's the whole fucking point. They stole shit. Sure. But I didn't know they killed people, were serial murderers for just committing murder for no reason. Just sinking somebody's ship for property for no reason. Or for barely anything. That was not even worth their cannonballs. Like a singular cannonball alone would probably not be worth enough for a captaincy book. In my mind anyway, enough to sink a ship, it would not be worth it. They'd have to have a tier level 5 flag. They'd have to have a bunch of loot aboard. Like your standard shit. That a no-brainer person would actually see and realize. But I guess it's just like that comments that a review said. Brain dead 5-year-olds. But yeah, back to that review. They said that they loved the game, they loved the mechanic, and at its core, they personally considered Sea of Thieves a very good game if you've got 3 other friends to play with, so you can run a galleon. Then you won't have any problem enjoying it. As a solo or duo player though, there just isn't enough protection, besides being an asshole themselves, from other players whose sole intent is to simply ruin others' play sessions. And just like they say, to Rare specifically, if Rare wants them back, private servers. Add more NPC faction ships to provide a PVE threat to certain areas of the map. Remember Pirates of the Caribbean Online and how parts of the map were at war between Spanish, British, and French navies fighting. Give us something like that, and it validates private servers with no PvP. For the love of Flamebeard, I just want to be left alone by 5-year-olds screaming nonsense, two psychotic girls screeching, some wacko who forgot to take his meds, Athena griefers who won't even wait for you to finish the Veil quest. That's all. Thank you. And this review is actually where I kind of got that idea for the PvE ships. Because he's the one who brought it up, and that gave me a bit of an idea. So I might be on the same page as him there. But the game needs a PvE mode. Does those ships that hunt you down need to have loot on them? No. No, they don't. They're there for threat to either run away from or try to fight. Just save yourself for not losing anything. Maybe they might have a little bit, like a skull ship or something. Do they need to have anything else than that? No. No, they don't. Should they be a sloop? I personally think they shouldn't be a sloop. I think they should be a brig and up, so that they add more of a threat. Because I have one tapped several sloops. Because they have kegs on board. Also make them not spawn with kegs on board. Like... And I'm gonna be honest, now skeleton sloops don't want to fight me anymore. Fight my crew anymore. They just fucking run away and disappear as soon as we arrive. We've been able to probably kill one so far since coming back. Like, what the fuck? Is there a rare developer piloting all the skull ships? He recognized us and went, fuck that shit, I'm out. Just fuck sounds like it. But to get back to the problem at hand, my voice is probably gonna go. But there needs to be a problem solver. I would argue a PVE server would be that. It might be a different solution, but a PVE server or private server-ish thing at least should solve the problem. Like, and the fact that the private servers that are up right now, as far as I know, don't save your progress or offer quests, and that's kind of bullshit in my opinion. Because then it's literally just for content creators. Then they're appeasing even more to the people they shouldn't be appeasing to. Sure, it's nice for them, having it way easier to create these game modes for people to watch. But it still doesn't help the majority of players in this game. It's only helping the biggest people on the platform, not the game itself or the player base itself, which is what's struggling. But I'm gonna swap to this tab, as I'm going to end the stream now, as I'm done ranting. Like, there's several problems with the game that needs to get sorted. But yeah, Sea of Thieves community who are against PvE servers or private servers, stop taking your fucking copium and wake the fuck up. That's been enough.